So when this movie came out in 1987, it's titled Evil Dead 2. And that's what everyone calls it. It is Evil Dead 2. It's a sequel to The Evil Dead. Or is it? Because the movie starts off pretty much recapping with a new cast member played from an old movie, and then it's kind of changing things up. So it is a remake or a sequel? Evil Dead 2. Released in 1987, the sequel to The Evil Dead. Yes, it is a sequel slash requel, as Bruce Campbell calls it. So the original The Evil Dead was owned by New Line, and Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi had no ownership rights to that film. Their own film. They didn't own it. The studio owned it. So, when they made Evil Dead 2, they said, alright, screw it. We're just going to recast a girlfriend member from the original, and then we're going to have like 10 minutes basically recapping what the first one did, and then we're going to pick up where the new movie takes off, where he's flipping in the air and getting pushed against the tree. From that point forward, it is the sequel. This film stars Bruce Campbell and is about the lone survivor on an onslaught of flesh-possessing spirits holes up in a cabin with a group of strangers while the demons continue their attack. So obviously the biggest difference between this movie and the first one is this one is almost a comedy. It still have a horror aspect of the movie, but it is way more slapstick, comedy, laugh out loud moments. And this movie is the beginning of the genre of horror comedy. There are famous directors who go back to this movie and reference it. Obviously, American Werewolf in London did that many years ago. Then this movie did that and they upped up the stakes. Like, I mean, everything is just slapstick and it's great. The movie is entertaining. But really, is it a horror film? After watching it, yeah, it's got the suspense feel and definitely a lot of blood and people get killed and stuff like that. It's got horror stuff to it, but I would 51% comedy, 49% horror, in my honest opinion. Ash this time around, he is just full on slapstick, gets pushed around, thrown around, and you gotta give major credits to Bruce Campbell, because he does like all of his stunts in this movie basically, and the man is crazy. I mean, he literally just gets thrown on the floor, gets sprayed with gallons of blood, he fights himself with his own hand. I mean, he is literally getting thrown everywhere in this movie. And there's an aspect of this movie, like I said, the beginning really doesn't matter. Once Ash is by himself, there's like a 25-30 minute span, basically, where he's by himself. And that is the best part of this movie. We get to literally see him fight himself. His hand gets chopped off, and we get to see him fight his hand, shooting through the walls, blood gets spraying on him. We have his girlfriend coming back from the grave, and her head's rolling around and biting him, and then it's just everything when he's by himself, to me, is the A+ of this movie. It is so entertaining, and of course, this scene alone is the definition of the horror comedy genre. Now, besides the stuff where Bruce Campbell's by himself, in my opinion, I do not care about these other survivors that are trying to find the cabin, find the Book of the Dead, and this woman's trying to find the staff and all that kind of stuff, and they come here and then they start getting picked off one by one. I mean, it's entertaining, don't get me wrong. It's very entertaining. You get to see some cool makeup effects. Obviously, the budget's gone up a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of this movie is straight up entertaining. It is. It's very entertaining, bloody, fun, little bit of horror, like I said, but in my opinion, I do not care about these other characters. When they come in, the movie is nowhere near as good to me. I mean, again, when he's by himself, I am in it to win it. But when they come in this cabin, to me, the movie completely just takes a halt, slows down, drags a little bit. Towards the end, once things start hitting, the shit hits the fan, and this humongous, awesome prosthetic head that comes to the cabin door and attacks them, all that stuff is very entertaining. The ending is a very entertaining, big action, horror, blood. It's all there what you want. And the movie does obviously end on a kind of a cliffhanger leading to Army of Darkness. But I just think that portion of the movie is nowhere near as good as when he's by himself. When he's by himself, the movie is like, I love it. It is so funny, entertaining, and you just love Bruce Campbell. I will give Evil Dead 2 a B+. Now, if you are a true die-hard fan of the Evil Dead series, go and watch Army of Darkness, because I actually will not be reviewing that movie. I'm gonna go and tell you right now, the third movie, it's entertaining, it is a goofball movie, it is fun, but it is straight up not a horror film. I'm sorry. It is comedy, action, medieval. It is not a horror film. It has horror action set pieces, but that is not a horror film. So I will not be reviewing Army of Darkness. I am sorry, but go check it out. It is a very entertaining movie. So like I said, guys, leave a comment down below and just tell me what kind of horror film you want me to review in the next week. Guys, it's the beginning of October. There's a lot to talk about. I'm really excited for you guys. I'm excited to continue these horror movies. Halloween, it's just, these past few days watching these movies, I've really gotten in the mood to this more and more horror movie, guys. I'm loving it. I hope you guys are loving it too. Thank you so much, and remember, have a great spooky night.